What is a neural network? Neural networks are an approach to implementing artificial intelligence. Let's say you want to classify images as having cats or dogs. One way to do this is to have a human look at each image and give their prediction, but this can be slow. So now we want to automate this and get predictions from a computer. At a high level, we want our software to take in and input the image and give an output, a prediction. We can think of this software as f of x, a mathematical function that takes an image x and produces a prediction y. To train this mathematical function on how to correctly classify cats and dogs, we need to provide the function with samples of cat and dog images and their corresponding labels. The function's behavior is determined by the parameters inside of it. Initially, the untrained mathematical function will have completely random parameters and will make incorrect predictions. But through a process called backpropagation, the mathematical function will update its parameters to better model the relationship between the input data and their correct labels and produce more accurate predictions. At a basic level, that's all a neural network is, a type of mathematical function that's trained to map input data to output data. Perhaps you've seen a diagram of a neural network that looks like this. Let's go through how we can use a trained neural network to make a prediction. This process is called inferencing. Each blue circle represents something called a neuron, and each column of circles is called a layer. Each line indicates how the data will be passed along in the network. Each neuron takes in values from the previous layer and, based on its trained parameters, applies some algebraic operations to these values to analyze specific patterns in the input. We start out by taking the pixel values from the input image and placing them in the first layer. The neural network then passes these values to the second layer. Since the second layer is dealing with the raw pixel values, it analyzes low-level patterns, such as edges and textures in the input image. These detected patterns are represented in the values stored in each neuron in this layer, which are called the neuron's activations. Based on the second layer's activations, the third layer analyzes higher-level patterns, such as distinctive body parts, and stores this information in its neuron's activations. Based on the third layer, the final layer of the neural network makes a prediction. At the core, neural networks involve applying a series of algebraic operations to the inputted numbers to model the relationships between the input and output data. These software structures are loosely inspired by the human brain system of biological neurons, hence giving the software structure the name artificial neural network. If you want to learn how a neuron works under the hood, click on the right video. If you want to learn deep learning fast, click on the playlist to the left. If you like my content, subscribe and drop a like.